saying her husband was in the home with guns threatening to harm himself.
Wildfires in California wine country means life on the brink.
Anxiety-inducing and depressing. Packing up everything that we can out of our childhood home.
CBS News Brief, I'm Peter King.
Good morning in Pekin, good morning in Perham. Thank you for making KFGO number one in the morning, number one all day long. The KFGO Morning Crew, Doug Leier, Amistadi, getting your Monday set for you.
Minnesota Twins have clinched the AL Central Division for the second straight year.
Yes!
Love our Minnesota Twins. Dave St. Peter, Twins president, joining us now in the KFGO Morning Crew. Good morning to you, Dave. Thanks for your time this morning.
Hey, good morning. Great to be with you.
Gosh, I just can't thank you enough, Dave. Where else can you get the Bismarck native, UND alum, the president of the Minnesota Twins, to join you at 7:40 a.m. on a Monday morning after the Twins are the Central Division champs? So we appreciate it so much. It never gets old, does it, Dave?
No, it doesn't. Obviously, baseball's traditionally a grind for all kinds of reasons. 162 games and spring training plus the season, 7 months of that nonstop play. This year, completely different, only 60 games, but considering the historic pandemic, considering all of the other challenges that our team and frankly our community and our state has faced over the course of the last several months, and then just all this protocol, all the changes to the environment that our players are operating within, our staff are operating within, I think we feel pretty blessed to be able to raise a division championship flag and have a team that's positioned for the postseason. Our work isn't done yet. We know what's in front of us. We want to compete for and win a world championship, and we're going to be given that opportunity here starting on Tuesday.
Twins president Dave St. Peter joining us here on the KFGO Morning Crew. And this Twins team has been special, Dave. This is the third year in a row, and I know we've bulked things up and even more. But injuries kind of have seemed to, I don't know if they're more than usual. The season's kind of crunched in, but been dealing with a lot of injuries. But the nice thing about it, there's been a lot of other players that we've seen rotated in throughout this shortened season.
Yeah, we have had our share of injuries, and I think if you really were to study it, you would see that most teams are dealing with that. I think that the depth that this team has is what you refer to as one of the strengths, maybe the greatest strength of our club, and we're going to need that. In front of us will be a grueling postseason schedule without a lot of off days, with an extra round of playoffs. So I think the team that ultimately hoists the World Series trophy at the end of the day, I think one of the things they're going to require is depth, and we feel like we have that in spades.
Dave, when we turn on the Mighty 790 KFGO tomorrow afternoon for Twins playoff baseball against the Houston Astros, what are the odds we hear Byron Buxton and Josh Donaldson in the lineup?
Well, we're going to know more later today. Our team will work out at Target Field this afternoon, and I expect both of those guys to try to participate in that workout. So I think that'll tell us. I'm fairly optimistic, but again, I think that today will be the test in terms of how, one, they feel coming to the ballpark, but two, their ability to take some swings, to field some balls, and to pronounce themselves fit to go. I know both guys really desperately want to be in the lineup. It's statistically proven we're a better team with both of them. And obviously I know our fans are fingers crossed they're going to be able to play tomorrow.
Yeah. What does home field advantage mean?
Well, you would think it wouldn't mean much considering the fact that we have very few, if any, fans in the ballpark. However, statistically, we have been one of the better teams at home in baseball history. So I think it means a lot for our club. For whatever reason, I think we're just more comfortable playing at Target Field even without fans. And we think it's a big deal for us, and it's going to be a huge advantage against Houston. We're still going to have to go out and play and implement the strategy that we have and execute. But at the end of the day, we like playing at home.
He is a Bismarck native, a UND alum. Dave St. Peter is the president of the Minnesota Twins. So thankful that he can give us some time on a Monday morning after clinching the division. Kenta Maeda scheduled to get the start. I mean, just a credit to your front office, your team to put together your playoff first pitcher is a guy that you folks brought in that a lot of people were thinking, boy, was it Graterol that got traded? And they're like, man, this guy was throwing 102 miles an hour, and now we're looking pretty good.
Yeah, Kenta Maeda has been just tremendous for us, and you're right. You have to give credit to Derek Falvey, our president of baseball operations, and Thad Levine, our general manager, and others on our baseball operations side for having the foresight to go out and make that trade. There were critics at the time, and you're always going to have a chance to assess trades over time. But in the short term, Kenta Maeda has been spectacular and just a tremendous individual in our clubhouse. So we think that addition clearly has paved the way to another division championship and gives us a really good chance to advance in October, which is ultimately why we made that trade.
Dave, this team has been having so much fun. I mean, we love listening to the Twins on KFGO radio, but oftentimes we'll catch them on the TV as well. Dick Bramer with the call. When the robe came out, Josh Donaldson brought the robe, and it was the Nelson Cruz robe, and they were all wearing that when they had a home run. It seems like they're having fun. Does the fun carry into the playoffs, or do things intensify?
Oh, I think it carries into the playoffs in spades. And I can tell you last night, as we kind of put a cap on the regular season and get ready for the postseason, this is why these guys play. It isn't, at the end of the day, it's not really about money in October. It's not really about anything else. It's about coming together as a team. And our group is having a lot of fun right now. The robe piece is the most recent example. I give Josh Donaldson and Nelson Cruz credit for making that a thing. Those are little things make a huge difference, and they're things that not only are great inside of our clubhouse, but they frankly connect to the community. They connect to fans. And in a year when we've had a fanless year in the ballpark, we need as much of that as we can. And hopefully Twins baseball goes a long ways towards bringing this community, this region together in mass here over the course of the next several weeks.
Yeah, and I think that fun thing means a lot. I mean, you'll often hear coaches. I mean, I played sports growing up. I have a son who plays baseball, and oftentimes you'll hear some of those coaches saying, "Come on, let's have fun out there." And that seems to be when you loosen up and maybe even play better.
Yeah, I agree with that. And Rocco Baldelli, since he came to Minnesota to be our manager, has really professed that one of the things that he believes is an environment where players can really find themselves, be enjoyable every single day, come to the ballpark, enjoy the people they're around. So that's, I think, rooted in the environment, and it's obviously easier to do when you're winning versus losing. But you could argue that it starts with having fun, and that leads to winning. And I think that's been the environment that Rocco's tried to create.
We're chatting with Twins president Dave St. Peter here on the KFGO Morning Crew, and obviously you have to win games to get to the next phase, so I would imagine each and every team here is important starting out with Houston here. Do we know, Dave, yet, have you heard any chatter if, in fact, we do get to the World Series, fingers crossed, we're pulling for our Twins, at that point, have you heard anything as to whether there might be fans allowed?
Yeah, there's some discussion about that. As you know, the World Series will be played in Arlington in a brand new ballpark next to the old Rangers ballpark. And in the state of Texas, there's some different guidelines around COVID and such, and it feels as though there might be a path to have a limited number of fans in the ballpark for the World Series. So, long way to go for us on that front. That's ultimately where we want to be, and we're so fortunate enough to get there. I'm hopeful that some Twins fans are going to have access to those tickets should that manifest itself.
You bet. And it all starts with Game 1 tomorrow afternoon here on KFGO. All right, Dave, thanks for your time this morning. We appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for the support. Win Twins.
You bet. Absolutely. Twins president Dave St. Peter joining us here on the KFGO Morning Crew.